Welcome to the Business Compass module. This is a process for us to articulate your why, because people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And we're going to be able to articulate by the end of this exactly how you can solve a customer's concerns. The template that you need for this is the foundations document, and we're going to be working on these 9 boxes of a how and your 3 whats. So let me give you the concept and the background behind this. Now, when you go to a networking event and you ask somebody what it is that they do, you get their elevator pitch. Now, an elevator pitch and the concept of this was invented back when you had buildings that were only 4 stories high. But nowadays, when I ask people what it is that they do, I feel like I'm in a 20-story high elevator. And at the end of it, when I get to the top, I'm still not sure after 5 minutes of rambling exactly what it is that they do. So this is a process of how to articulate exactly what it is that you do in under 3 minutes so that you can get straight into talking to the other person about what their problems and concerns are and how you can solve them. This is based on the book that I'm sure you've all read, which is Simon Sinek's Start With Why. I loved this book, and when I finished it, I thought I needed to create a process for how people can create a why for themselves. As you know, most people that you meet spend all their time talking about themselves, what it is that they do, and perhaps a little bit on the how, but they really struggle with articulating their why. But if you get this right, you can stand out like some of the best, biggest brands in the world, including Apple. Now, for those of you who haven't read the book, I've put a link in there to a short 10-minute video from Simon Sinek himself, which runs you through the concept of begin with why or start with why. Let's start with a warm-up exercise, and this is called the them and us. I want you to write down what your competitors and most people inside your industry do on the them side. Then I want you to take a moment and think about how you can do the opposite, either how you are currently doing the opposite or perhaps how you could go a step further and stand out and do something completely opposite to them and create a really strong independent why. So work through that exercise and come up with as many as possible, because these are going to help you populate the hows of your business compass. Now, the structure for your business compass is very easy. It is basically 3 quick whats, because we don't want to spend all our time talking about what it is that we do, and then diving straight into the hows so that the person who's listening can easily identify how you're going to solve their problems. So the what is usually starting with the before state. So before they engage your services or buy your product, what is it that they are feeling? Then we're going to take them to the core of what it is that you do. And then, of course, the after state of how they're going to feel after you've solved their problem. Now, for each of these pillars, and they run downwards, we're going to talk about 3 ways that you deliver on that what. So 3 for each. Now, what's really important about this exercise is that everybody inside your organization, from your juniors and part-timers and your contractors, all the way up to your executive team, your managers, your board, and even your CEO, can all remember 3 by 3 things. And everybody in your organization is going to be saying exactly the same thing. I imagine if I was to run around your office and interview and ask every person who works for you what it is that you do and how you do that, I would probably get different answers from everybody. So this is really about bringing everybody onto the same page. Now let's jump into an example. Here is a services-based company. In fact, it's a SaaS company, and they are specializing in electrical contractors. So I'm going to take you through exactly how you can articulate your compass and your elevator pitch from these foundations. FCP is an ERP system where we specialize with electrical contractors that provides efficient and effortless job costing, predictable and profitable sales, and provides real-time reporting that drives strategy. How we do that is we have automated time cards so that labor hours are automatically allocated to projects. We have rapid bids, so you can bid on up to 5 different general contractors in under 10 minutes. And we have one-click work in progress reports that are real time. The other benefits is that our sales force gets insight into the top profitable sales leads to focus on. We provide benchmark margins so you know exactly what your gross margins are from the get-go, from the start of the project. And you have a healthy pipeline because you can populate and perfect your pipeline for consistent performance. And lastly, how we drive strategy is really important. We don't like unwelcome surprises. We like to capture changes in the scope now, not when it's too late. You can lead with confidence when you use our ERP system and have a pulse on your sales, your labor, and your markets to stay ahead of the curve. And lastly, you can innovate forward. The person with the best data wins, and we're going to give you access to that. So that's an example of how that works. If I'm an electrical contractor and I'm hearing this and I've got any of those pain points, straight away I'm going to know how they can help me and what's possible, and then continue the conversation. Obviously, the person in front of them then needs to say, tell me about your business and what are you struggling with currently that I may be able to help you with. So let's have a look at an example that is a product-based, and this is one of my companies. So this is Hot Tresses, which is Australia's #1 vegan hair care designed to help you cut down on your heat tools, get results without the use of nasty chemicals, and eliminate frizz and tame your curls. How we do that, and then again you go through the same process. We repair damage and stimulate growth that's caused from years of abuse from heat tools and styling. We welcome you and invite you to air dry your tresses, wrap, pin and twist your hair to achieve a range of heat-free styling. And we're an indie Aussie-made Byron Bay brand by founder, moi, who wanted to simplify her hair care regime after 40 without having to cut it all off. And so on. So you will be able to speak to women, they're listening to these benefits and they're going, actually, I straighten my hair too often and it's stunted the growth. Yes, this is perfect for me. And other people will gravitate more towards the fact that it's a clean product because they're trying to cut down on chemicals in the bathroom. But whatever it is, it's really important that you give them a brief overview of all the what's possibles so that then they can hone in on the one thing that they're trying to solve for themselves. Now we can apply those 9 hows and the 3 whats to our social content. And that is 9 pieces of content that you can create every single week as a guide. So for here, you'll see that we have 2 posts about the impact because every one of our products has giving embedded. You will see also a bit of an ingredients profile here, a benefits one here around dry scalp, a safety one around cutting chemicals with your family and inside your household, the abuse piece here about the cycle of abuse, a tip on how to cut down on heat styling with our air dry techniques, a review from a customer, social proof being the #1 indie brand, and so on. So it becomes very easy then to task your team, especially an offshore team, with content that they need to create around those 9 pillars. As for building out your funnels, your compass also comes in handy here as well. For example, your nurture sequences can be based on your 3 pillars, so you can dive into each of those as part of your nurture sequence process. Next steps. Once you have your business compass articulated and refined, I invite you to review your current branding in line with that. Are you being clear? Do customers, if they go to your website without having a conversation, do they know exactly what it is that you do and how it is that you're going to help them so that they can take the next step and reach out to you or purchase? Circulate your compass with your team and get them to memorize it so that everybody is speaking the same language when they're out there speaking to people at barbecues or making sales calls. And lastly, start using your compass as a decision-making tool. Whenever we are presented with an opportunity or a collaboration or anything inside our business that we're unsure of whether we should proceed with it, we go back to our compass, and if it doesn't align with our values and our why, it's a great way for us to say no and not be distracted by shiny objects. I hope this helps. I look forward to seeing your compasses, and please reach out if you need any help with refining yours.